Have you ever been so angry that you made a decision that changed everything in one single moment? Because I destroyed my boyfriend's reputation in front of 500 people at our college graduation by announcing his cheating through the ceremony microphone. And the video has now been viewed over 2 million times. My name is Sarah, and 4 years ago, I thought I had found my soulmate. Jake and I met during freshman orientation, and from that moment, we were inseparable. Everyone called us the power couple of our college. We had matching promise rings, shared bank accounts, and I even had his mother's engagement ring measurements saved in my phone because she kept hinting about our future. If you want to hear how I planned the most devastating public revenge in graduation history and whether destroying his entire future was worth it, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because what I did next shocked everyone who knew us. But first, let me tell you about the fairy tale relationship that made my revenge so much more devastating. For 3.5 years, Jake and I weren't just couple goals. We were the couple everyone else measured their relationships against. We studied together every night at our favorite corner table in the library. We had weekly date nights even during finals week. He surprised me with handwritten notes in my textbooks, and I meal prepped his favorite lunches for his early classes. Our friends constantly joked that we were already married. We finished each other's sentences, had inside jokes about everything, and never went more than 2 hours without texting. I was so proud to introduce him as my boyfriend that I practically glowed whenever we were together at parties or family events. We had already signed a lease for a downtown apartment, applied to jobs in the same city, and started a shared Pinterest board called Our Future Home. His mom had even taken me ring shopping under the guise of just looking, and I knew he had been saving money from his part-time job for months. The night before everything changed, he told me he loved me more than he ever thought possible. I fell asleep in his arms thinking I was the luckiest girl alive. The changes started during spring break when he came back acting different. It wasn't just the normal post-vacation blues. Something fundamental had shifted. He started sleeping with his phone under his lies about where he was going. Study groups that didn't exist, family emergencies that never happened, work shifts that weren't on his schedule. I started feeling crazy for noticing these things, like I was becoming a paranoid girlfriend who couldn't trust her own boyfriend. The final red flag was when he stopped saying, "I love you" first. For over 3 years, he had said it every morning and every night. Now he only said it back when I said it first, and even then, it sounded forced. 3 weeks before graduation, I decided to surprise Jake at what he claimed was a group study session for his advanced economics class. I had baked his favorite chocolate chip cookies and wanted to show up with coffee for everyone as a sweet gesture. But when I called the group leader to ask which building they were in, she told me there was no study session scheduled. In fact, there hadn't been one all semester. My hands started shaking as I realized Jake had been lying to me for months. That night, I did something I never thought I would do. When Jake fell asleep, I went through his phone. What I found destroyed every beautiful memory we had ever created together. Months of messages with Emma Rodriguez from his econ class, photos that made me physically sick, and detailed plans for secret meetings during every single study session he had told me about. The worst message was from Valentine's Day, the same day he gave me a promise ring and told me I was his forever person, where he told Emma he wished he could spend the holiday with her instead of dealing with Sarah's expectations. I had spent 2 weeks planning the perfect Valentine's surprise, and he was texting another girl about how much he resented me for it. I have never experienced rage like that in my entire life. It felt like someone had poured liquid nitrogen into my veins while setting my chest on fire. I wanted to wake him up and scream until my voice gave out, to throw his phone against the wall. to call Emma and destroy her life immediately. But something deeper took over. A cold, calculating survival instinct that I didn't even know I possessed. Instead of confronting him, I became the best actress of my life. For 2 weeks, I smiled when he kissed me good, planning a military operation. I discovered that the ceremony allowed for brief thank you speeches from graduates, and that the reception would have over 500 attendees, including family, friends, professors, and even some local media covering the event. I also started gathering evidence with forensic precision. I took screenshots of everything, documented their meeting patterns, and even discovered that Emma had a serious boyfriend of 2 years who had no idea she was cheating. The deeper I dug, the more elaborate their deception became. My plan crystallized. I would wait until graduation day, the most important day of Jake's academic life, surrounded by everyone who mattered to him. Then I would expose both of them in the most public, humiliating way possible. Not only would Jake face immediate consequences, but Emma would lose her relationship too. Every day I had to sit across from him at dinner and listen to him talk about how proud his parents were, how excited he was for the ceremony, how this was just the beginning of our amazing life together. Meanwhile, I was preparing to detonate his entire world. The morning of graduation, I woke up feeling like I was preparing for the most important performance of my life. Jake was lying next to me, sleeping peacefully with a smile on his face, completely unaware that in 6 hours, his life would implode. As I got ready, putting on the dress he had told me looked beautiful, he kept talking about how perfect everything was going to be. His parents had flown in from across the country. His grandparents had driven 8 hours to be there, and his little sister had taken time off work to attend. He even joked that this might be the best day of his entire life. I printed out the most damning evidence, screenshots of their Valentine's Day messages, photos they had taken together, and a timeline of every lie he had told me, and put them in my purse. I had rehearsed my speech in the mirror until every word was perfect. When his family arrived and embraced me like I was already part of the family, telling me how excited they were about our future together, it took everything I had not to tell them the truth right then. His mother actually pulled me aside and whispered that she thought Jake might propose soon, and that I was the daughter she had always hoped for. That's when I knew my revenge would be absolutely devastating. The moment came up and walked to the microphone. Everyone thought it was so romantic that I wanted to add something to his speech. Instead, I looked directly at Jake and said, "Thank you, Jake, for teaching me what betrayal looks like. For the past 4 months, while planning our future together and accepting congratulations on our relationship, you've been having an affair with Emma Rodriguez. I have screenshots of you telling her you wished you could spend Valentine's Day with her instead of dealing with my expectations. I have photos of you two together during every study session you lied to me about." The silence was deafening. Jake's face went completely white, then bright red, then white again. His mother audibly gasped and grabbed his father's arm. I continued. "I thought everyone should know exactly who Jake really is before they celebrate his achievements. Oh, and Emma's boyfriend Marcus is here today. You might want to check your phone, Emma." Then I placed the printed evidence on the table and walked out of that reception hall with my head held high, never looking back. Within 30 minutes, my phone had over 200 notifications. Jake called me 73 times in the first 2 hours. Someone had recorded my entire speech and posted it on TikTok, where it gained 50,000 views in the first hour and eventually reached over 2 million views across all platforms. The fallout was immediate and devastating. Emma's boyfriend Marcus had confronted her at the reception, and their breakup became part of the viral story. Jake's family was so humiliated they left the reception early, and several family members unfriended him on social media that same day. The story spread like wildfire across social media platforms. Reddit picked it up with the title, "Woman Exposes Cheating Boyfriend at Graduation Ceremony," and it hit the front page within 12 hours. TikTok users were calling me a legend. while others debated whether I had gone too far. But the real consequences came later. Jake's job offer was rescinded when the company's HR department saw the viral video and decided they didn't want that kind of drama associated with their brand. Emma was dropped from her sorority and lost her graduate school recommendation from a professor who had seen the video. Jake's social media followers dropped from 2,000 to 400 overnight, and he eventually had to delete all his accounts. Completely transformed my life since then. I moved to a new city, got an amazing job, and I'm genuinely happier than I've been in years. Most importantly, I learned that I'm stronger than I ever imagined possible, and I will never again settle for someone who doesn't respect me enough to be honest. Jake has tried to reach out multiple times through mutual friends, claiming he wants to apologize and explain everything, but there's nothing to explain. His actions showed me exactly who he really was, and my response showed him exactly who I am. Some people still think I went too far, but I think I gave him exactly what he deserved. The truth has a way of coming out eventually. I just chose the when and the how. If this story taught you anything about recognizing betrayal or standing up for yourself when someone tries to destroy your trust, make sure to subscribe for more real-life drama and revenge stories. And remember, never let anyone make you feel crazy for trusting your instincts.